Right, let's hope it's not played.
Right, apologies about that, ladies and gents. We should now be back. I am going to have to run lead comms this evening. Unfortunately, a few technical issues over at Andrew's side of things. But we have got Andrew here, so welcome, finally, guys, to the IRL Xbox F1 League, brought to you in partnership with GT Omega, Driver61 and GridFinder.com. We are here at the circuit Gilles Villeneuve in Montreal, Canada, and as I said, I am joined by the one, the only, the fantastic Andrew Gatton. Good evening, Andrew. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing good, Kieran, especially after having that wonderful issues with Twitch. That makes me generally want to cry. But we're here anyway, and I can't wait to watch this race with you.
Indeed. Right, as you can see, some lap times have already been set. Botch Gerbil currently leading away, the 109.420. Very, very strong time by Botch Gerbil on those soft tyres. A little bit of housekeeping for you all this evening. Brand new driver, MCD Coda in the Williams. New driver in this evening for his IRL debut. When I can speak English, that is normally a good thing that you want to do in these streams. But yes, of course, Andrew, this is your first outing, shall we say, this season in Season 13. So it's your first chance to see these guys in action.
Definitely.
How excited are you?
I'm actually really excited. Obviously, some really familiar names to me. Jamie29X, El Senedo, Liverpool Ewan, Sir Sharks, Botch Gerbil and Raza. I mean, I know them all from obviously realistic performance from the last season, and some of them were just absolutely fantastic. Liverpool Ewan was the only one that I know that didn't really attempt the realistic performance, but when I did comms with you, Kieran, I knew exactly who to look out for, as he just blitzes everything, doesn't he?
Yeah, well, Liverpool Ewan last season was very much blitzing things. This season, he hasn't got off to the best of starts. It's definitely not the Liverpool Ewan of old that we are seeing here in Season 13. So hopefully he will be able to get himself back on form, shall we say, this season. Just going to have a quick look. Who have we got around on track? Got El Senedo on. He's invalidated his lap, actually. So Nathan HRX is coming up to the end of Sector 3. Where is Jamie?
Jamie29X right now is just ending Sector 1. He's just about to come through into Sector 2 on the second DRS straight on the track.
That other Poggers chatter, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the Invictus Racing League, bud. Hopefully you will enjoy your time here with us.
Just gonna
MCD Coda just starting a lap.
Yeah, just gonna point out the only driver out on mediums at the moment is El Senedo. He's set a reasonably mediocre 110.3 there on the medium tyres. I wonder if he was maybe just trying to test the water to see where the pace was at for medium tyres around here, because we know that the mediums, they're probably the go-to race tyre, but for lapping around here, I think softs are the best that you could possibly pick here, especially if it's dry.
Yeah, I suppose so. We have been told by the admins that it is going to be dry here this evening in Canada. It is interesting, as Andrew said, that El Senedo is the only car to actually, at the moment, set a time on those medium tyres, and whether he is looking to potentially go for a potential one-stop, because it is possible with the medium tyre if you start on those yellow-walled medium tyres. Not so much if you start on these red wall tyres, unfortunately. It's not a tyre wear isn't as nice to you this year as it has been in previous iterations of the F1 game.
Driver to point out to you, Kieran, quickly, sorry for interrupting. Ruzek has just set the fastest time in Sector 1, and he's running down into Sector 2 now. I wonder what he's going to get here. He gets fastest in Sector 2 as well. He's coming down into the hairpin. He's blitzing right now in the Alpine.
Indeed, so we're going to jump on board with him for Sector 3. He's coming through that DRS straight now. He's got that rear wing wide open. coming up to arguably probably one of the trickiest corners on the F1 calendar, the Wall of Champion chicane. It's taken many a victim in the real-life sport itself.
And he just went fastest.
Well, just like that. Ruzek, provisional pole, a 109.127 there by Ruzek. Fantastic lap time.
That was a fantastic time, as you say, Kieran. He just didn't put a foot wrong in that lap. And there was a couple of seconds there, but Raza 410 just jumping on board with him. He's just managed to take sector 2 off of him.
Let's see what Raza can do then, as he is now coming down that final back straight here with that DRS open. Whilst we were talking, Andrew, Botch Gerbils put himself second on the timing screen.
That is very true.
Oh wait, no, sorry, he was already there on second. He is out on an outlap though, so he's going to look to try and improve. Raza goes P2, goes ahead of his teammate, so probably a good thing that Botch Gerbil is on his way out, Andrew.
That is very true. I mean, Botch Gerbil knows now where to go on the track. He's had his outlap, he's had his first pace lap, so this should be, I guess, the lap of the gods.
I mean, hopefully. We'll see what Liverpool Ewing can get himself up to. Yellow flags in sector 1-2. I think it's just a couple of cars getting intertwined with one another, potentially trying to get some clean air.
He didn't go fast, sorry. He didn't manage to go fastest in sector 1, but we'll see what he manages in sector 2.
Whilst Andrew is keeping an eye on him, I'm going to quickly jump to Nathan HRX in the other Alpine. He's actually on a...
He goes fast in sector 2.
So he's getting ready to start. Vinnie Cousin has just recently finished a lap time, currently P5 for the Mercedes team.
Just
you can hear Kieran, sorry voice for tonight. Not a problem, mate. Not a problem at all, Mr. Valender.
On Botch Gerbil at the moment, guys. Currently P3, but he's just set fastest sector 2 time. Comes through the Wall of Champions again. Gets that DRS. Let's see where he goes on the timing screen. And he does. He goes on 109.084, just faster than Ruzek to take provisional pole. Very
good lap time. Very good lap time there. Jamie 29X coming out on those medium tyres on his outlap now. Liverpool Ewan just behind him. Ewan is going to go and try and set a hot lap. Gets very close to that which chicane, but here comes Liverpool Ewan. There's Liverpool Ewan. There is the Liverpool Ewan we know and love from last season. Finally finding his pace once again. Provisional pole for the AlphaTauri driver.
Yeah, it was very nicely done. I watched the back end of the lap coming into the Wall of Champions again. He just got it just right. I think it's about feeling the car through there, and he nailed it.
He did indeed. Nathan HRX crosses the line with a 1:11.304. Currently the slowest time of the session, but this could just be a banker from Nathan. Just trying to get himself sorted. So Noodle is in chat saying shush to win, Ruzek P2, Botch Gerbil P3. Interesting decisions there from Mr. Noodle. Let's see who we got on laps at the moment. I think Jamie 29X is approaching the end of sector 3. He is. He's ever so slightly down on his time at the moment. And instead he decides to dive into the pits. Who's the next car behind him?
Just been watching.
He's in the pits already.
Nathan HRX there. He had a little bit of a shaky moment coming into sector 2 there, for that first chicane. And I don't know if he just kind of didn't hit the braking zone right when he was coming in. I think he just felt like he didn't have enough of a turning angle coming through there quite a lot. So I don't know how his time was going to compare. Yeah, he's coming into the pits now. He obviously knew that he wasn't going to improve there.
Shush though is going to finish his lap, so we'll see what he can get up to.
Ruzek.
Very nice line out of the Wall of Champion chicane there, and Shush a 109.123. That's P3 at the moment for that Haas driver.
Very nicely done as well. I just caught him as he was coming across the line, but there is a Ferrari coming down the towards the Wall of Champions. He's on an outlap, and I think it is Raza 410. It is.
Is indeed Raza.
Interesting to see where
Sir
he goes.
Sharks is the next person on a hot lap. So we will watch Sir Sharks as he approaches the wall of champions chicane. Very nice line through there. Now power back down with that DRS open on the run up to the line now. Comes Sir Sharks. Does he improve? He does not improve. Doesn't improve on that lap time he has currently set.
Raz is only 0.07 off of his personal best for Sector 1 there. He's only just down.
So we'll let Andrew keep an eye on Raz's time there. But we're going to jump on. Right, Elsinado is on an outlap. Quite a few on their outlaps now, so it'll be the last few times you'll see some of these drivers setting those all-important lap times. Vinnie Cousin is about to start a lap.
Raza,
I think Andrew may have some news on Raza.
Yeah, Raza 410 just went fastest through Sector 2. He's coming down towards the wall of champion chicane now. It's all about just nailing this now for him, and he'll get on to a higher position.
Good exit, currently P5 at the moment. Yes, he can. He puts himself P3.
Fantastic lap from him there. He struggled through Sector 1, as we say. He was only just off his time, but Sector 2, he took a massive chunk off. He obviously knew where he needed to go with that car, and Vince actually crashed, I do believe, up towards Sector 2.
He has. He has indeed. Hopefully that's not going to jeopardise too many people's laps. Ruzek does come into the pits though. Jamie29X is on an outlap. He is going to look to start. So, ooh, a little bit of a moment there from Jamie. Almost puts himself into the wall of champions.
Not much we can say there.
Our first victim.
He's already in.
It was almost our first victim.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's gonna end qualifying, unfortunately. So we're gonna look around as Shush 108.396 from Shush. That is a new fastest lap time of the qualifying.
Nathan HRX has been in Sector 2 as well. He is off the track at the moment, but a lot of drivers like to use that curbing.
You see Dakota on debut.
He's sideways.
Ooh, Joey. I think Joey's just had a little moment as well. Ruzek's retired in the pits. Joey's had a moment around the hairpin. We've lost Joey as well. Jump up on board with Sir Sharks. We should be able to see the stricken car of Joey there. You just saw him in the background of the screen there.
Thank you for the follow, Seagulls P21. Thank you very much. And I hope you enjoy your stay here in the Invictus Racing League.
Gerbil, hello!
Whoa! A 108.78.
What's a lap by Botch Gerbil?
Just comes out of nowhere, doesn't he?
Where does that one come from?
Raza 410 is now retired from the session as well.
Alcinado is on a go slow. Liverpool Ewan. Can he improve? He's going for it.
Well, that was
getting
very
as close as he can to that wall of champion chicane. Run up to the line now. Can he put it on pole?
Oh,
yes, he can!
A 108.7. What a fantastic lap there from Liverpool Ewan. Is this a comeback?
That could potentially be the comeback for that man in the AlphaTauri. As we said earlier, hasn't had the best start to the season. I think he's had a place in a 4th place. He's had a 9th place, a 4th week. He was, I want to say, 11th or 12th in France. Did not have the best of times at the French Grand Prix. But looks like Canada is his turning point. Canada is where we're starting to see the Liverpool Ewan of Season 12 come back to the forefront here in the Invictus Racing League. And that is, Andrew, going to bring us to the end of qualifying here in Canada.
It indeed does, Kieran. It was a fantastic qualifying, even though we had a couple of issues at the start. We ironed them out, and we are here to stay, hopefully. And we are watching probably what could be one of the most eventful races of the Invictus calendar.
Hopefully we are going to watch a nice, entertaining Canadian Grand Prix. Obviously, we have got 35 laps of this race coming up shortly, but here are your qualifying results in the Xbox F1 League, brought to you in partnership with GT Omega, Driver61 and GridFinder.com. It's Liverpool Ewan in the AlphaTauri on pole position, Botch Gerbil in 2nd, joining him on the front row, with Shush in 3rd, along with Raza in 4th on that 2nd row. The 3rd row, Ruzek and Elsinado. 5th row, MCD Coda on debut and Vinnie Cousin. Joey and Sir Sharks on row 5. Jamie 29X and Hubbard on row 6, and then Nathan HRX rounds out your field in 13th place.
This is going to be action-packed. I can already tell. Canada is always such a weird atmosphere because of the lighting, but somehow it seems to bring that tension that some drivers just look for in their race, and the speed that the cars travel around here, and the the free DRS straights. We're bound to see some action tonight, aren't we, Kieran?
I mean, we are indeed. We've been told by the admins that we're going at 8:30, so 4 minutes, guys, to go and get yourself a drink, get yourself some snacks and things like that, get yourself ready for the race. I think Andrew and I will definitely be doing that, getting some drinks down us to quench potential thirst that we may have, so we are all nice and ready for the start of the race. What I will quickly do is I'll run you through the stream schedule, because here at Invictus we race on 3 different platforms. That's right, it's not just Xbox, we race on PlayStation and we race on PC too. All streams kick off at 8 PM UK time. On a Monday night it is PlayStation F1, streamed by Webber Red 5 and Lightning over on our YouTube channel. I will give you all of the info for that in just a second. On a Tuesday, exact same time as us, it is Malcolm Matt over on YouTube, taking you through F2 on the PlayStation side of things. And then here on the Xbox side of things, on Twitch, it is either myself and Dom, myself and Andrew, myself and Matty, Andrew and Matty, Andrew and Dom, or Andrew, Dom and Matty. Any of the combinations of the 4 of us taking you through the action here in Xbox F1. Wednesdays, we have got 2 streams at the exact same time. PlayStation F3, streamed by Infinite Gamer and JPH99, and the Dream Team themselves. I know Andrew loves their work, I love their work too. It's Cameron and Fozzy over doing the PC side of things on the YouTube channel. Guys,
second best commentators in the world, behind me and mine.
Haven't watched a PC stream, honestly guys, go and watch a PC stream. Cam and Fozzy are insane at what they do in terms of a comms team. They are people that I definitely look to try and emulate in the comms world. But that is the plug. Of course, most importantly, Thursday nights, realistic performance. Fortunately, we missed out on a realistic performance league on Xbox this season.
It's
heartbreaking. It's a horrible. It's a cry.
Yeah.
But Tim and Malk do take you through the action on a Thursday night on the YouTube channel. Let's just get everything else up, because I've missed half of the stuff that I normally say, because I don't have everything up that I would normally have up for a stream. Whoops!
Can only apologise about that, Kieran.
Not a problem, bud. Here we go. Right, so socials, before we get underway very, very quickly. Social media, if you guys want to get involved in the conversation, use the hashtag InvictusRL on Twitter, at InvictusRL for the main Invictus account, or at InvictusRL_Xbox if you want to get the specific Xbox side of things. Check us out over on Instagram, instagram.com/Invictus Racing League. And if you want to watch all of the races back once we have finished and gone off the air this evening, youtube.com/InvictusRL is the place to go and the place to be. If you're seeing what we're doing and thinking, I could do this, I want to get involved, InvictusRacingLeague.com is the place to go. Sign yourself up, join the grid, join everyone here in Invictus, and as I say that, we have got the countdown going off. Mr. Carbon Gaming in the chat. Mr. Carbon, how are you, my friend? Pole position was Liverpool Ewan. It was Liverpool Ewan in the Alpha Towers, finally getting some speed, finally getting his pace back. Hopefully we're seeing the Liverpool Ewan of Season 12. The man that battled DJ Danny tooth and nail for the entirety of the season. Hopefully these guys will be, hopefully he'll be back to top form again. The time
I remember that battle.
It is formation lap time. And I'm going to put it to you, Andrew, following that qualifying session and what you saw of it, who do you think the wonderful people in chat need to keep an eye on?
I think there's a few drivers today that have just really surprised me. Obviously, Raza 410 somehow out of nowhere was posting fastest sectors of Sector 2 and 3 all the time. Just off on Sector 1s most of the time, but just getting there through the mid to end of the lap. Obviously got a lot of straight line speed in his car today. He is one driver to watch out for. Another driver that I think we've all got to be a little bit cautious of is the fact that even though Nathan HRX hasn't had a good qualifying, he might get a little bit lucky here with his strategy call. The fact that he's outside the top 10, there could be a safety car. This could mean that Nathan HRX could get into the Major League points here during the race. I'm not saying that he will, but he's got a high chance because right now, if anybody hasn't seen the championship standings, he's actually currently 6th in the championship standings. So he's definitely a driver to be reckoned with here at Canada.
Indeed, he is. Mr. Carbon is saying Gerbil. He's put his money on the Canadian. He has he's picked up a few podiums, I believe, actually, thinking about it. Does he?
He is the leader in the championship right now. I've got them up.
He is, and if he gets a podium today, he actually ties the record of most podium finishes consecutively in Invictus history on Xbox. It is currently a shared Liverpool Ewan last season and Fairmoto the season beforehand, both with 6 consecutive podium finishes. But as you can see, first place is on the grid. This is the Xbox F1 League partnership with GT Omega, Driver 61 and gridfinder.com. We have got 5 red lights. It is lights out and away we go. We're on board with Shush here, so he's going to try and see if he can get an early jump on Botch Gerbil. He gets a fantastic early jump. Can he get ahead of the Ferrari driver into turn 1? Not able to do it just yet. He's going to do it into turn 2. Botch Gerbil holds on for now. Contact from Andrew. We will go and have a chat with him in just a second. We want to make sure that we have got everything at the front of the pack. Liverpool Ewan still leads as we come towards the end of Sector 1. Botch Gerbil in second, Shush in third. Not had any changes at the top of the grid, but we will now cross to Andrew. Has he mentioned contact? Over to you, Andrew.
Yes, so Decoder in his debut today, he seems to just, I think he misjudges the corner into turn 1. He was kind of stuck in the middle, gets a bit of understeer, and ends up kind of nearly taking a few drivers out with him as he goes off the track into round the turn 2, kind of 90-degree right-hander. There wasn't much he could really do about it. He seems like he's understeering quite a lot. So I don't know if his setup just isn't right for this track.
Indeed, we're going to jump a little bit further up from MCV Kodar to Jamie29X, one of 2 drivers starting on those medium tyres, potentially opening themselves up for a one-stop. And as we're on board with him, he picks up the first 3-second time penalty of the evening. So if you did have Jamie29X in your first penalty sweepstakes, congratulations, you are a winner, as he picks up the first 3-second time penalty of this evening's race.
Ooh, that was good. Raza and Bruzek just went side by side, and El Ceredo just picked up the scraps and came in after Bruzek as well. So Raza and El Ceredo making up a position each there. Very well done.
Indeed, Liverpool Ewan does still lead the way though. Botch Gerbil second and Shush third. Have a quick look at the position changes so everyone can see who the big movers and shakers are. As you can see, MCD Coda has been the big loser, unfortunately, dropping 6 places. Sir Sharks is the big winner, up 2 places. A couple of drivers have moved up 1, and Ruzek has dropped a place. So, but of course, it's still very, very early stages. I think the guys that are, as I was saying, the guys that are on the medium tyre, so Jamie29X and Nathan HRX, I think those guys are probably going to look to try and set themselves up for a one-stop. It would be a medium hard, as Liverpool Ewan puts in the of the Grand Prix with a 1:12.066. DRS has now been enabled here in Montreal. The guys on the mediums will look to do that one-stop strategy. They are going to do the one-stop. You're looking at probably lap 14 to 17 before you see these guys potentially chuck on those hard tyres. The guys that are on the softs, it is very, very tough to do a one-stop on this game, having started on those red tyres. So it will be a two-stop. Oh, Ruzek's out.
He's out. He's completely out.
Oh my gosh! Virtual safety car, and Ruzek is very much in the middle of the track there. as Sir Shark picks up a 5-second penalty for a collision with Vinnie Cousin under the safety car, which is not ideal for the two Mercedes drivers there, as they are teammates.
Definitely, Kieran. I think, just running back to that incident with Ruzek, it looked like he came out of the chicane and just carried a little too much exit speed, put the foot down a little too early, and he just lost the back end. And you know what happens, you get a tank slapper and you just can't save it, and unfortunately he ended up in the wall and losing his front right tyre.
Indeed. Sir Shark, he only picked there for Sir Sharks. And he's just going to try and serve that 5-second now. There's a new front wing going onto that Mercedes car as well. Medium tyres going onto Mr. Sir Sharks' car. So as I was mentioning before, we did have the virtual safety car and the loss of Ruzek. We'll jump on with Bots Gerbils. He's trying to hunt down Liverpool Ewan as I am quickly going through the remainder of pit stop strategies for the guys that are on the softs. Ideally, you're looking for about lap 8 to 10. So unfortunately, Sir Sharks has had to come in a little bit early following that damage.
What a move. Raza's just made a move coming down into the chicane on Shush. Really just timed his braking point. They're going wheel to wheel.
Down the straight. We're watching from Raza's rear view. You see Shush just behind him. I think Raza's just going to hold on. Shush, in fact, dives into the pits. Yeah,
I'm
Shush
not
has
sure.
come into
Boss
the pits.
Gerbil and Liverpool Ewan going wheel to wheel into turn 1. Liverpool Ewan just can't hold on to position at the moment, but they're still side by side. But it does look like coming in to the next Boss Gerbil is in the lead, and he is. He's just edged ahead of Liverpool Ewan there.
Bit snaky though there by Bots Gerbil as he came out of that frame. But hopefully that's not a sign of things to come for the Canadian. Obviously at his home Grand Prix, Bots Gerbil, Canadian here in Invictus. But yeah, so quickly before anything else major happens in this race, 8 to 10 for the medium, for your first set of mediums, and then 22 to 24 for your second set. Unless you want to go soft, medium, soft, then it is laps 24 to 26, and then you can run the softs to the end.
That is very true there, Kieran. I think one thing that we can say is tyre wear on this track can be quite progressive, and it's just dependent on how you're taking these corners. And I think the major areas where you're going to lose these tyres is pretty much into the chicanes. You cannot afford to be losing the tyres going in championship chicane. You need braking to be right. You need to have no understeer, because if you understeer in that corner, you're definitely going to either lose a wing or lose your wheel.
Indeed, you will. Jamie29X, early pit stop there for Jamie. Onto the hard tyres. Now he started on the mediums, so that's a very, very early stop for Jamie. He probably boxed about 8 laps earlier than most would have expected, so I'm wondering whether there was potentially damage on that Red Bull. Shush has now picked up a time penalty. Liverpool Ewan is now trying to see if he can hunt back down Bots Gerbil. You can see how close he is to the Ferrari. Again, Bots Gerbil gets a bit squirrely out of the exit there from the hairpin. And Liverpool Ewan is going to try and use that DRS to his advantage to try and catch up to Bots Gerbil. Pulls to the right ever so slightly, just to let Gerbil know he's there. Just a reminder that Liverpool Ewan is here and Liverpool Ewan is back with the pace. And for everyone here in Invictus Land to watch out. As MC Coda hands disconnected from the session, I will ask Andrew if he can potentially try and get MC Coda back in just in case. I will do that quickly. So Carbon has agreed, and he must have had a wing change. I'm thinking that was what it would have been, because he seems to have lost a fair bit of position there. Has Jamie 29 as Shush puts it up of the Grand Prix so far, a 1:11.911. We're going to keep an eye on this battle at the front of the pack, though. It is one of the closest battles. In fact, I'm going to quickly jump down to Nathan HRX, who is very, very close to Hubbard E now. He is going to get DRS on Hubbard E. MCD Coda is back in the race now. He's just rejoined the lobby, which is fantastic.
Thank you to me.
Andrew doing the work. as
Doing
always.
bits.
Much appreciated. Nathan HRX really looking to try and hunt down Hubbardie here in the Alfa Romeos. Alpine versus Alfa. Renault power versus Mercedes, Ferrari power, sorry. And that is a much better exit by Nathan HRX. He's going to use that DRS and that ERS advantage to his... Sorry, use that to his advantage as he gets round Hubbardie in the Alfa Romeo. And that
wall contact.
Little bounce off of the wall champions for Nathan HRX though.
He has got no damage.
Think he's got damage.
I think he's got off scot-free there, does he?
He's actually gotten away with that. I'm not sure how, but he's actually gotten away with that. MC Decoder has left the session again and come into the pits. Wondering whether he's disconnecting.
I will have another...
As Jamie29 has passed quite a few people in the pits. Shush and MC coming into the pits, moving on to those medium tyres. MC Decoder on his way out, now getting very close to those Sharks as a ghosted car. But nothing too worrying just yet. We'll head back up to the top of the field though, as we've got Liverpool Ewan again with that DRS. He can't seem to close that gap to Bob Sherble though, Andrew.
Yeah, I think the one thing we need to have a look at is the fact that Liverpool Ewan 1 has just went into the pits. And also, Bots Gerbil, I think he's just managed to pull out a better kind of slipstream. He's used all of his ERS deployment. He's only at about 18% at the moment. At the end of that straight, he was down at 10, but Shush is out.
He's out. Shush is out of the race. Where is that? Sector 1? It looks like his car's still moving though.
I think that might have been an on-the-track retirement. The game's just decided to...
Well, his car's still going.
Yeah, so I think that was actually him retiring from the session himself. A lot of drivers now making a stop. Hubbardie, Elsonedo, Jamie, Sir Sharks, and Nathan HRX all getting into that pits so that they can use it all up.
Another thing I've just noticed, Andrew, Bots Gerbil was currently ghosted. He may have left the session.
He's
just
joined
come
again.
back in now, so we should be good to get Bots Gerbil back in. Elsonedo now looking to try and hunt down Hubbardie, as Nathan HRX was a few laps ago.
He's going in the pits though. Bots Gerbil's going straight into the pits.
The Alpha, I'm hoping that wasn't the game that did that for him. I'm really hoping that wasn't the game and that was something that he wanted to do.
He was back in the car, I do believe, at that point, so he should be okay. I do believe he actually made that pit stop on purpose. Liverpool Ewan has regained a position on him though.
He has, he's jumped him. He's jumped him in the pits. Raza leads though. 8.5 seconds the gap between Raza and Liverpool Ewan at the moment. I'm going to quickly jump to Elsonedo. That's definitely not Elsonedo's car. That is not Elsonedo's car. That is Elsonedo's car.
The only driver still to pit at the moment is Raza 410, which is quite interesting because Raza is leading the race, but I do believe he's still on soft tyres, if I'm right.
He is.
On that one.
He is indeed still on those softs.
That could be an issue grip now at this point, and he should actually be thinking of pitting within this lap.
Yellow flag sector 2.
Looks like there was just a bit of contact and bunching up of cars there.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything major.
I actually think Vinnie had a bit of an incident there. I didn't see
Raza.
it though.
Raza's in the pits. Raza has pit. Coming off those softs onto those medium tyres. Liverpool Ewan is now going to lead the Grand Prix. Bots Gerbil jumps his teammate. In fact, is he going to jump his teammate? Is Raza going to get out ahead of Bots Gerbil? No, he is not. Bots Gerbil is still ahead, or just gets ahead again, once again, of his teammate. As we finally get the intervals back on the oh, Jamie! Jamie has retired in the pits, I believe.
That is very unfortunate.
Time penalty for speeding in the pit lane and then retires from the session. So that is less than ideal for me. And it means, Andrew, that in fact, MC Coda looks to have disconnected again as well. I might try and see if I get another
I'll have a look.
invite his way, but it does now mean we're only down to 10 runners. So providing these guys finish, You're all getting points, which is a plus, I suppose. There is Will. There's my prediction. Will made the prediction of, I believe it was Shush for the win. And that unfortunately hasn't gone his way. Liverpool Ewan does lead though.
I do believe your pool comms as well said that. Shush for the win. As well, so it's a little bit off there. But I did say watch Nathan HRX. He was making moves until that pit stop. He got shunned out a little bit by that pit stop as well, so he's kind of had to drop down the order a little bit. Liverpool Ewan still about 4 seconds ahead of Bots Gerbil, and Raza 11 seconds away from Liverpool Ewan. So that top 3 right now is looking pretty spaced out.
They are indeed. It's what, about 11 and a half seconds, maybe 12 seconds separating those top 3 at the moment. So my next, that Big Will in the chat had for the race win. That hasn't gone his way, but of course this is the IRL Xbox F1 League brought to you. Oh my gosh! I'm gonna have to stop the. Oh my word! Big shunt.
What happened
Safety
there?
car is out. Oh my gosh! That was picked up on stream as well.
That was very dangerous.
Elsinado and it looked like it was
Hubbardie.
Elsinado and Hubbardie ran a little bit of contact, ran off the runoff together, and then both disintegrated into one another on the following corner. And we now have a safety car here in Canada, Andrew.
Definitely, that's going to be playing into a lot of drivers' hands, but at the same time, a lot of drivers that just pitted, they're going to feel a little bit of pressure right now that sometimes the hard runners are going to actually get ahead here. And there's a few drivers that are on the hards. Vinnie Cook at the moment is one of those. Sir Shark to get on some hards. And yeah, I don't know. I'm a little bit taken aback by that incident. As we're looking right now, I think Jamie29X having that, you know, that little incident in the pits where he's and then just DNF, I think that was just had enough of the race. But Liverpool Ewan is, you know, he's in prime position right now to push and push, but Bots Gerbil has been basically forced right up behind him. What do you think will happen here, Kieran? Because I think it's going to be a big shuffle when the safety car goes in.
Yeah. I definitely think there is going to be a little bit of chopping and changing.
I can't really tell anything that's going on right now, but Raza has just caught up with the safety car. And
indeed.
Vinnie Cousin is not too far behind. He's actually just into that chicane. MC Decoder is just there as well. But we are down to 8 runners in this race today.
But I've just thought, I have a wonderful, wonderful sight on stream. So do the people on stream.
Yeah.
We have that beautiful, wonderful Aston Martin safety car in front of us.
Gotta say, it's a very good looking Aston, isn't it?
Beautiful, beautiful vehicle. As Big Will comments as well on the Aston Martin safety car, just as I've done so myself.
I sound like Ian Sterling from Love Island, according to Mama McKinnon 19. That's good. I like him. He's one of my favourite comedians of all time.
Of course, he is a fellow Scotsman.
Yep, he is.
Well. So it does sort of make sense. Of course, all of the Scots seem to be in here. We've got Big Will, we've got Mama McKinnon in here as well. But now I will continue with the shout out to our sponsors as the safety car is about, and this is the IRL Xbox F1 League, brought to you in partnership with GT Omega, Driver61 and gridfinder.com. We are about to go back under green flag conditions here at the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve in Montreal, Canada. This is round 4 of 15 here in Canada. But Mr. Corbin, you need to stop jinxing safety cars, please, good sir. I mean, we've only got 8 runners at the moment, so please.
He's not not very good at that, is he? He just does it.
Early jump, very early jump by Liverpool Ewan, and in fact,
he got the jump there.
Gerbil out. He didn't catch Bots Gerbil out. He definitely caught Raza.
Raza was
Raza
just
was
kept
not ready.
napping there.
Yeah, Raza was not ready for that. Liverpool Ewan, very, very early jump. Bots Gerbil read it. But Raza was not so lucky. As I've just noticed, Andrew, in that safety car period, Joey645 actually boxed for softs.
That, I don't know what that strategy is. I'm trying to think that maybe he's just trying to make it up the order a little bit, but I'm not too sure. I might
soft,
think
maybe?
Could potentially be double soft towards the end, but right now MCD Coder trying to go around the outside of Vinnie. Vinnie covers the inside very well into the second chicane there, but he's going to go around the outside right now. And it does look like he has made the move stick. No, he hasn't. He's pushed the inside. Oh, but he gets a much better exit there than Vinnie, and he is up into P4 of this Canadian Grand Prix.
Fantastic switchback there by the Williams driver, to be fair, into that hairpin. But Vinnie is going to look to try and come back at MCD Coder. Of course, no DRS yet. We don't have DRS for another couple of laps.
I'm saying that as well. MCD Coder used all his deploy coming into that final chicane there at the Wall of Champions, so he had to get a good exit, otherwise he was going to get swamped.
I mean, this option for him to get swamped is still there. Here's very, very close from MCD Coder back. And the back 5, is it? I think it's separated by about 2 seconds, maybe just under that. You can see how close these back 5 are to one another. Of course, you have got both Mercedes drivers here, so I wonder whether the 2 Mercedes drivers could try and potentially work together and try and work their way up the field.
Yeah, so I think if Surfsharks is in a party with Vinnie right now, I think Vinnie needs to potentially drop position. Oh, squirrely back in from Nathan HRX. I think he's managed to save it without causing damage to himself. What a fantastic save. I caught that there. As he was coming out the the second last chicane in Sector 2, he just the back end just went, and it looked like he was doing some sort of Gymkhana style driving to save it, but he managed.
Has indeed managed to save it. Surfshark's not able to catch up just yet. He is gaining slowly on his teammate, but probably not as quickly as he would like to. Of course, these guys are both on hard, but Surfshark's tyres are 3 laps younger than Vinnie Cousins. So could that potentially play a factor in the coming laps?
It could potentially, Kieran. I was going to say, the hards haven't got too much of a degradation factor at which you'll lose too much time. They just more get a little bit slippy as more laps go, especially when you start they start delaminating on the top. Round this track, that will happen. But yeah, there we go. Surfsharks has been let round by Vinnie. And there's not much I can really say other than I don't think it really would have played that much of a factor. I just think Surfsharks is just a lot faster at this stage on the hard.
Indeed, but someone else who is looking very, very fast at the moment is Joey645 in the Alfa Romeo, the sole Alfa Romeo now this evening, following the unfortunate retirement of Hubbard, following the incident between himself and El Senado. And I think potentially Joey was getting involved with that as well, as Vinnie Cousin picked up a 3-second time penalty. But still, Liverpool Ewan leads the way here in Canada, finally picking up some form. And in fact, what I'm going to do is going to take you back to the last couple of times, actually no, the last time we were here for IRL. This is the 3rd time IRL Xbox has actually visited Canada. The last time we visited Canada was Season 11, Round 7. Now I'm bringing this up for a reason. Because a certain person in our Twitch chat at the moment, twitch.tv/Invictus Racing League, if you guys do want to come and have a chat with us live, someone in our Twitch chat at the moment, Andrew, actually finished on the podium the last time we were here in Canada.
Now that's right, Kieran. I do believe that was Mr. Carbon Gaming that finished on the podium here, if I'm correct. Kieran, correct me if I'm wrong, obviously.
No, it was indeed Mr. Carbon Gaming TV in the chat that finished 2nd last time Invictus were here. Beaten by James F1 ETC, but he pipped He picked the Xbox League coordinator, Fairmoto, to the line and finished second here in Canada. So a man with a wealth of knowledge around this track, around this circuit. So if you need tips on Canada, people in the chat, have a chat with Mr. Carbon Gang. But let's go back into the action here in Canada for season 13, as Joey is, even on those soft tyres, he doesn't seem to be catching up that much to Vinnie.
Yeah, he seems to be like almost just trying to stay in his dirty air, but then it's enough. He doesn't know how to handle the dirty air, and ends up just kind of he understeers into a corner, or I mean, just doesn't know how to get past. I think Vinnie's just doing very well.
Ooh, mistake there from Vinnie though. This could open up the door for Joey. Does well to shut that off. But you can see that red flashing light on Vinnie Cousins' car. That means he is saving ERS. So here comes Joey. He's going to pull to the left. He's going to have to do it around the outside of the wall of Champion chicane. Is he going to be able to make that stick? He is going to make that stick. He gets that move done with the DRS assistance now to help him pull away from Vinnie and try and catch up to Sir Sharks. That is Joey 645 up into P5 of this race. We're about thirds of the way-ish. Maybe a third and a half of the way.
Yeah, definitely. We're getting there. And I just want to point out as well, Vinnie, at the end of that lap there, only had 6% ERS in the tank, where Joey had about 20 to 30% in the tank. So that shows you who was on the back foot there.
We're going to quickly the head of the field, because Bots Joe and Liverpool Human are still battling. These guys have battled pretty much all races so far. We're going to have a quick look at the penalty situation as well. 3 seconds apiece for Raza, Joey and Vinnie. 6 seconds apiece for Sir Sharks and Nathan HRX. In fact, mentioning Nathan HRX, he has unfortunately taken the record. It's somewhat of an unwanted for Nathan HRX. He does currently record in Invictus the most races without a podium. It's not the best record to have.
He's just the Nico Hulkenberg, isn't he? You know, and that's not what I want. I mean, you do want to be Hulkenberg. I mean, everybody wants to be him. Having his first child as well, that was greater. But you don't want that. You don't want to be that Nico Hulkenberg of a racing league. You want to be winning. And Sir Sharks, you know, he definitely has the pace too. He's just gotten so unlucky so many times.
Hopefully we will see Nathan HRX turn his luck around in the next few races. Just noticed something in the chat from Seagulls. It's Joey's first season. Just left the karting track. So he's doing okay. He is doing okay. He's doing pretty well. P6 at the moment for Joey on those soft tyres as Liverpool Ewan boxes, Andrew.
Yeah, so that suggests to me that he's activating his strategy early and putting a set of
fresh set of
mediums. Yeah, like that
fresh set of mediums.
That's going to take him to the end of the race. He's just activating that plan now. He knows that he can kind of afford that. But does that put pressure on Gerbil to try and drive a little bit faster on the tyres he's on now? Or do you think he'll pit within the next lap?
That's what I was thinking. I'm wondering whether that was potentially also a play by Liverpool Ewan to try and force Bots Gerbil's hand. Now, if I'm Bots Gerbil, I'm probably going to keep an eye on, or try and keep an eye on Liverpool Ewan. Just keep an eye on where he is on track, as he's getting very, very close to Vinnie Cousin. In fact, he's side by side with Vinnie Cousin is Liverpool Ewan. He makes that move with the DRS assist around that Mercedes driver. And look how quickly he's pulling away. He's pulling away so quickly from that Mercedes driver is Liverpool Ewan. MC Decoder picks up a 3 second time. Someone's round.
Oh, someone's
that
round.
Was Joey.
That is Joey.
That's Joey.
Unfortunately, it looks like he's just dropped it coming into the chicane. He actually, the hairpin, he just hits the power too early and just sends it round, unfortunately. So that's him being put to the back of the pack at the moment.
Is indeed. Apologies if you can potentially hear rain through my microphone. The heavens have decided to open in my local area, and I have very, very thin windows, and the rain is very much against my window, so if you do hear that. Joey comes into the pits though. He's going to get himself off those soft tyres now. Potentially a set of mediums to the end. Yeah, it is going to be mediums to the end.
Liverpool Ewan just set fastest sector 1,
Good.
and that last lap when he went round Vinnie, he actually set a fastest sector 2 and a fastest sector 3, so he is on fire at the moment. He wants to get back into that top slots.
He does indeed. As I was saying, Botch Gerbil's probably going to want to keep an eye on how quickly Liverpool Ewan is gaining on track, and will look to try and let's try and take advantage of where he is on track. Got Lewis in the chat. How are you doing, Lewis, buddy? Hope you're well, mate.
Yeah, I just want to take a second to
up into third.
Just want to take a second to thank everybody in the chat for joining us tonight for this epic race around Canada. Definitely is an honour to be back serving you guys at the Invictus Racing League Twitch channel. It's good to be back. It really is, and it's Liverpool Ewan sets the fastest lap of 1:10.87 there. You know, that just shows you the dominance he's showing right now as he gets past Sir Sharks.
I'm wondering, because of how long is left in the race, I know that a soft, medium, soft, you want to be looking to come in about now. Lap 4 to 26 is when you want to look to come in if you're going to do a soft, medium, soft, which I think is Botch Gerbil's play.
Yeah, I think he's going for the, you know, the typical Botch Gerbil play, which is a soft, medium, soft. I remember quite a few times RP, he did try that kind of strategy, and it did work out for him in the end. He was pushing high points, but it is very difficult it was very difficult last season to beat DJ Danny in any straight out shootout battle.
There's indeed Carbon in chat, the very knowledgeable Carbon, saying that lap 26 would be the ideal stop if Botch Gerbil was to go onto those soft tyres. We're on lap 25 at the moment. Have a quick look at his tyres actually. You know what? The tyres don't actually look that bad. His medium tyres don't actually look too bad, Andrew.
As I'm watching right now, they don't look like they've delaminated or degraded to the same point. You can see there's a couple of spots on the tyres that maybe would suggest that the tyres are getting old. You can see on the outside left there that the far graining is starting to kick in from all the tight corners. But I think he should be okay if he wants to go another lap.
I think that's probably what he'll do. We're jumping back quickly to Nathan HRX because he is now back on the hunt.
Watch Gerbil decide to pit this lap.
We'll see if it's softs. We're going to quickly jump up to
red stripes.
Botched.
Yeah,
is it red? It is red stripes. There it is. I'm going to quickly jump back to Nathan HRX, see if he can make that move on Vinnie side. Nice, easy move there. Again. For Nathan HRX there, moves himself up into P5. If Nathan HRX can keep going the way he's going at the moment, I'm just going to have a quick look at he is on 9 seconds worth of penalties though, which isn't ideal. He's actually in a really, really good position, is Nathan HRX, in the Alpine. He didn't have those penalties that really opened the door and help him potentially break that streak that he has had of the longest period without the podium. There we go, Carbon Gaming in chat. He had to box when he did. He was losing too much time to Ewan. And you know what, I tend to agree with him there. He really was. Raza now leads though. Raza is leading 1.8 seconds back to Liverpool Ewan.
Just going to actually point out as well, Raza's back tyres and rear tyres aren't looking too pretty at the moment, and I think he'll be looking surely to box soon. Hopefully we're not going to see a Monza of realistic performance season 12, are we here? Hopefully not.
I mean, you and I both know Raza pretty well from our time here in Invictus, the short time that we have had in Invictus, and we know that Raza does like to run some long strategies on tyres, as MC Decoder now gets himself ahead of Nathan HRX.
I'm going to say he's lost a whole 1.5 seconds to Liverpool Ewan just within sector 1 there, so you know, this lap he is going to have to pit if he wants to try and even think about. Oh, contact! Liverpool Ewan just gives him a little bit of a love tap going into that corner. No damage made. I do feel though that yeah, Raza is losing so much time. He is going to have to pit this lap. He wants to still think about a podium here.
Well, indeed, we are watching this battle at the moment for the lead. Liverpool Ewan now pulls to the left-hand side of the track. It's going to be a nice, easy overtake for Liverpool Ewan. Raza straight away pulls back to the left-hand side. Is he going to follow? He follows Liverpool Ewan. He doesn't box. Raza has stayed out on track.
The interesting thing to see now is how much time does he start losing to Bot's Gerbil. Because Sir Sharks, even though he's only about he's about 5.7 seconds behind, he's kind of in a bit of a bad position because you pit here, you're about 18 seconds, 16 to 18 seconds. So that could be potentially make or break for him. He needs to think about pitting if he is going to.
Indeed, he does. If we look at that penalty situation again one more time, as we are on lap 28 of 35 in the IRL Xbox F1 League, brought to you in partnership with GT Omega, Driver 61 and gridfinder.com. It is Kieran Wright 92 on commentary with, for the first time this season, I'm so happy to be able to say back in an Invictus comms box once again, the wonderful, the amazing Andrew Gatton. God, I've missed being able to say that.
It's so good, isn't it? I miss being here with you, Kieran. I miss being here with Matty. I miss being here with Dom. I miss just being in this environment with everybody in the Invictus family. You know, every time I go away from here, I always feel like I'm part of the family, and I know I can always come back here as well, which is always good.
By Bot's Gerbil on Raza. That moves Bot's Gerbil back up into second place, and now the hunt is on between Bot's Gerbil and Liverpool Ewan. Of course, Gerbil is on those soft tyres. Liverpool Ewan on the medium. He's going to quickly go through the penalty situation before we move back to the tyre screen to what tyres everyone is on. MCD Coda and Vinnie Cousin both on 3 seconds worth of penalties. Raza, Sir Sharks and Joey on 6. Nathan HRX on 9 seconds worth of penalties. So it could potentially shake things up towards the back of the field anyway, come the end of the race. Obviously, Raza and Sir Sharks have the same amount of penalties, so this is a straight battle for position between Raza and Sir Sharks, Andrew.
Yes, definitely. And I will say this now. Raza has gained time on Sir Shark within these last 2 laps, but the problem is when those mediums start to completely delaminate, those hards that Sir Sharks is on right now, they're going to come into their own, and unfortunately, I don't know when that'll be. He's got 5 laps right now to make something happen, Mr. Sir Sharks does, but yeah, it's going to be a difficult situation, and I just want to point out as well that Liverpool Ewan versus Bot's Gerbil is not just going to be this race. I can see this happening for the rest of the season as Liverpool Ewan comes on a massive comeback to reclaim his title from Season 12 onto Season 13.
Indeed, especially if this is the Liverpool Ewan of old into the Invictus fray. It could spark some warning bells for those involved, especially at the top of the pack. Of course, we have no PSR Harry here tonight, and we've lost Shush from tonight's race as well. But it is, of course, the Ferrari team of Raza and Bot's Gerbil that lead the way in the constructors at the moment. So a good haul of points for the 2 Ferrari drivers as MCD Coda gets very close to the back end of Sir Sharks there. Oh, he gets on the power a little bit too early though, out of the hairpin. Commentator's curse on MCD Coda in his debut.
It's so unfortunate.
Drops
he
down
had
to P7
constant
now.
issues today with connection, and just for that to happen to him as he was getting into a decent position for points, I feel really bad for him. But hopefully it's a sign of good things and things to come for him as he continues to race in Invictus, hopefully with it.
Indeed. Just have a quick look at one is on track. So Liverpool Ewan has got the fastest lap as well. So if we quickly have a look at potential points. So there's going to be 15 points for Bot's Gerbil. It's going to be 13 points for Liverpool Ewan. No, sorry, other way around. It'll be 16 points for Liverpool Ewan. It's going to be 12 points for Bot's Gerbil if it stays as it is. 10 points for Raza, providing he holds on to that P3. 8 points for Sir Sharks. 6 points for Nathan HRX. Very much needed 6 points from Nathan. Should I say that? Nathan HRX has actually seemed to have found some form this season, which is nice. It's nice to see Nathan HRX get himself some points. MCD Coda, it will be 5 points for him on debut. Very, very good for him. 4 points for Vinnie Cousin and 3 points for Joey.
Definitely, and I just want to point out as well that on lap 31, Liverpool Ewan got a warning for exceeding track limits. I'm going to try and figure out how many warnings he's actually on. He might just have the one, but we'll have a look and see.
Whilst Andrew does that, we're going to have a quick look at the battle between Vinnie Cousin and MCD Coda. These guys are battling for P7. Of course, Coda got himself round Vinnie Cousin after dropping a couple of places. He was up on the back of Sir Sharks behind Nathan H. and Vinnie has passed Vinnie now. So back up into P6 and is looking to try and hunt down Nathan HRX. But Vinnie seems to be staying with him. So fair play to Vinnie for staying with MCD Coda. Which is not an easy thing to do when you've got old, medium, sort of hard tyres on. On the note of people on tyres for a very long period of time.
Raza 410, who's actually losing time now to Sir Sharks, and has lost a considerable amount of time to Botch Gerbil. He's got 2 laps, but I think if he doesn't make a mistake now, he will hold on to P3, and Sir Sharks will be left just one more week without beating Raza 410 again. But yeah, looking at that, going back to that penalty situation with Liverpool Ewan, he's only got 1 warning. And Botch Gerbil, I didn't see him having any warnings, so I do believe this is a very fair battle.
I can now, Andrew. Botch Gerbil has 2 warnings.
Has he got 2 warnings?
Botch Gerbil is on 2 warnings. If he gets a little bit too close to a curb across these next couple of laps, it is going to be a 3-second time penalty for Botch Gerbil, which he does not want towards the back end of this race as Nathan picks up another time penalty. But you can see now Botch Gerbil here is the overspeed on those soft tyres. And see how close he's getting now to Liverpool. You can see the soft tyres coming into their own and potentially the slight drop off of those mediums. 2 laps left to go here in Canada. We're on lap 34 of 35, the IRL Xbox F1 League, brought to you in partnership with GT Omega, Driver61 and GridFinder.com. If you are enjoying what you're watching, guys, and you're watching on the Twitch channel, please consider dropping a follow on the channel. It greatly appreciates us here at the Invictus Racing League to see you guys supporting the channel week in, week out. And I just heard a little beep there, I did, from Botch Gerbil's Ferrari. He has got his DRS within a second.
He had that rear wing wide open there, chasing him down the second DRS straight. What he could really do, it's now just a point of just trying to get close enough to make that move. This is going to be a good chance on the straight to see who has the better speed. And I think, overall, Botch Gerbil, obviously, he has, if I'm correct, he actually has very limited ERS. Liverpool Ewan as well, they're both literally fighting a losing battle with their ERS at the moment. About 6%, both of them, at the end of that straight there. So now it's just a battle to the death. Can Botch Gerbil finally get past Liverpool Ewan for the win on the final lap of the race? Botch Gerbil about 0.5 down at the moment, but he is chasing hard, using some of that ERS deployment to get some overspeed out of that corner. You can see Liverpool Ewan in a position right now where he has the high ground. I think either way, Botch Gerbil has to make a move coming down into the last corner here. But as far as I'm concerned, he has that flap wide open all the time. He's within 0.2 coming into the back here. This is going to be right down to the end, isn't it, Kieran?
It is indeed, and I will run a little bit to let Andrew think of some podium questions, because I think it's only fair. It's his first race back in Invictus. So I'm going to let Andrew do the podium interviews this evening because he's not had a chance to talk to these drivers yet this season, so I think it's only fair. But Liverpool Ewan seems to have pulled away from Botch Gerbil now. Botch Gerbil, this is last chance saloon for the Canadian at his home Grand Prix. Is he going to get in? The cars are coming in the chicane now. Oh no,
Oh,
Gerbil!
no!
He's lost it! Liverpool Ewan
Get it right!
wins
Get it
the
right!
Canadian Grand
Get it
Prix!
right! Oh
Can
no!
Bots
That
Gerbil
was...
right it? Can he get himself across the line before he will?
Oh,
Bots
that was so
Gerbil
close.
gets second. So unlucky for Bots Gerbil. He was so close. Raza crosses the line in third. Does he hold on to that podium? Yes, he does. Sir Sharks finishes in fourth place. MCD Coda jumps Sir Sharks on penalties. That's P4 for Coda on debut. So massive congratulations to him. Sir Sharks does finish in fifth. Nathan HRX in sixth. Vinnie Cousin finishing in seventh. And Joey is just coming up to the wall of champion chicane now, and he is going to finish in P8. Be the final finisher here this evening for this Canadian Grand Prix. There we go. Oh, what an end. Gerbil was so close. Obviously, we won't comment too much on that yet. We'll let Andrew have a chat with Bots Gerbil when we get him into the party, and we'll get his thoughts and see how he feels in regards to what happened there. Nathan HRX picks up driver of the day. There is your podium. It is Liverpool Ewan. Here are your race results in the the IRL Xbox F1 League, brought to you in partnership with GT Omega, Driver 61 and GridFinder.com. And it is Liverpool Ewan, the man who started this race on pole position, picks up fastest lap, picks up the race win as well. Bots Gerbil at his home Grand Prix just missed out, spun coming out of the Wall of Champions chicane, misses out just on that top step of the podium. Raza rounds off said podium for Ferrari. Very strong performance there from the Ferrari team. MCD Coda, the Scotsman on debut, picks up P4. Sir Sharks in 5th, Nathan HRX 6th, Vinnie Cousin in 7th, and Joey rounds out your finishers in 8th. DNFs for Hubbardee and El Senado, as they had a massive coming together earlier on in the race. Jamie29X retired in the pits. Unfortunately, Shush had to retire on track, and Ruzek as well had a big shunt in Sector 2 across the wall. Bit of a tank slapper that sent him into the wall. And whilst Andrew is getting our podium places into the party to have a chat with us, we'll grab his thoughts. Andrew, what a race for you to come back to.
I did say that this race is going to be something else, and you know, I don't know how to say this, and I'm going to say it every time. I love this place, and I think the driving always means something to me, and to watch the way that the drivers kind of behave on track. There's so much discipline between them, and normally if something does happen, it's, you know, it's so, they deal with it so maturely, and I think that is something to be respected within this league. And you know, those drivers today, you know, when they put a foot wrong, they tried to right it themselves, and you could see that even then there was very little putting feet wrong today. And I'll say this now, and I'll say it every time. Thank you for letting me commentate on that race. It was just stunning, just stunning.
It was indeed. So I've just had a ping in the Discord. Fortunately, Raza doesn't have a mic, so we won't be able to have a chat with Raza. Hopefully, we will get Liverpool Ewan in here. We have been joined by the man who finished second. I'll try and see if I can get Ewan into the party.
I'm trying to invite him. It is Liverpool Ewan 02, isn't it?
02, yeah.
Yeah. So I'll invite him to the party, see if he wants to have a quick chat.
It's all good. He has just posted in the Discord, something I'm not going to say because we are live. I'm sorry, I turned my Xbox off.
Yeah, okay. So it looks like the only person... We haven't got
Liverpool Ewan, so it's just one person on the podium. But I think it's the person we all want to talk to anyway, especially after that final lap. Andrew, over to you, my friend.
Definitely. Bots Gerbil, it's a pleasure to be back speaking to you again. Obviously, very eventful race for you. Talk us through your thought process there at the start, especially on strategy?
Yeah, kind of had a bad start. I got a lot of wheel spin off the line and kind of lost Liverpool Ewan a little bit at the start, but was able to hang with them. And then right around the pit window, I think lap 8, got disconnected from the game, but I was able to get in. But the safety car was able to line us all back up, and then I was deciding whether or not to take the mediums to the end, and I just decided to pit for the sauce with 10 laps to go and see if I could catch Liverpool Ewan.
Definitely. And do you think that was the right call to make? Because you saw what happened to your teammate on the medium tires. They just kind of fell off, didn't they?
Yeah, I started feeling it right before I pitted for the softs. I noticed a huge drop off in time, and I was locking up a lot more. So I knew they were. I crossed the threshold of like good grip on the tire. So not long after they were going to be dead, I made the decision then.
Yeah, no, you done very well with that strategy call today, though. But you know, got two more questions for you. One is, how does it feel to be leading the Constructors' Championship still after your home Grand Prix?
Yeah, no, it's great. I'm glad. It's amazing to be leading and got to extend the points a little bit, I think. Kind of sad I didn't get first. Was really hoping for it at the home GP. Got the pole too. As personal best time, better than my all time, but couldn't beat the AlphaTauri there to pole position.
Yeah, I've got one last question from me, and I think it's only fair to have Kieran maybe ask one or two questions as well to you, is to round it off. But do you think that battle between you and Liverpool Ewan won't just be this race, but throughout the season?
Yeah, he's been kind of. I haven't really seen him the first couple races. I think he's had a couple bad races there, but yeah, it was a good battle. He's really quick. The medium seemed like a really good race tire, but on the softs there, I went for a move on the final lap and thought maybe I could get the inside exit, but my tires just couldn't hang on, and I spun. Luckily, I didn't and was able to cross the line still on P2.
Definitely, and I think I'm gonna let Kieran maybe say one or two words to you as well.
Thank you, Andrew. Yeah, you just mentioned it there, Gerbil. Of course, we'll go on to that last lap and that final corner overtake in just a moment. But of course, you do increase your record of the most podiums. You tie it now. In fact, you tie the record for the most consecutive podiums in IRL Xbox history. That is 6 in a row for you now. 6 podiums in a row, tying yourself up with the man who just beat you today, Liverpool Ewan and Fairmoto, across the last couple of seasons. Next week, you got the chance to break it. We're at Silverstone. Do you think you can do it?
Yeah, all the pressure's on. Silverstone's another fun track. A lot of battling goes on there. A lot of DRS straights. It's going to be interesting to see. Hopefully more turn up next week. It's kind of a small grid, but looking forward to the competition, and hopefully, yeah, I can break that record.
Hopefully, but yeah, you know we're going to go to it. I think all the guys in chat are going to want to hear it as well. You were so close to getting that lead, going through that final wall of champion chicane. Was it just a case of the power just got on a little bit too early and the tyres just gave out, or was it something else?
The tires just, I think, couldn't hang on there at the end. I was on 10 laps on them, but I knew that was my only chance. I saw he wasn't getting the best exit while I was following him earlier on track, so I knew if I got the right exit and got the inside line, maybe I could just beat him to the line and have a drag race, but no, it just spun around, but thank God I just didn't hit the wall hard enough.
Yeah, it was indeed. Massive congratulations on that P2. Thankfully you weren't, as you say, you weren't taken out on that final chicane. You were still able to cross the line, and luckily you had, for of course, 2 Raza behind you, so the second place remains yours. But congratulations. Well, hopefully we will see you again next week, where we can comment that you have broken the record for the most consecutive podiums in Invictus Xbox. But until next week, thank you, my friend. Congratulations.
Yes, thank you.
Hopefully we'll
Thank you
speak
guys for
next
commenting.
Speak to you later, Boss Gerbil. Thank you very much.
And so, with that, ladies and gents, quickly wrap up. Andrew, your first race back. Your post-race thoughts?
So I think for the first race for me coming back and watching, it was definitely the right way to do it. We definitely did it in style. I think the only way that I could have done any better from my eyes is seeing the race from your point of view. But as you know, Kieran, sometimes things don't work out like that. But we're here today. We watched it. We commentated on it, and it was absolutely thrilling. And I hope everybody in chat enjoyed it just as much as we did in the commentary box.
Indeed, but a massive thank you for everything this evening, Andrew. It does, though, bring us to the end of our broadcast here this evening, and massive congratulations to our podium here in Canada. I know we only got one of the guys from the podium in this evening, guys. We do apologise for that. Unfortunately, mic issues for Raza and Liverpool Ewan forgetting that he actually won a race and needed to do a post-race interview, preventing
Liverpool Ewan stuff, you know,
from joining us on the broadcast for a podium interview. But hopefully next week we will have a full podium as part of the continued shared commentary agreement. Of course, it will be the flip side. It will be myself and Dom. So it'll be DomThNoodle and I taking you through the action next week from Great Britain at Silverstone for round 4 of season 13. But for more IRL racing action, head over to the YouTube channel, youtube.com/InvictusRL. Follow us over on Instagram, instagram.com/Invictus Racing League. Follow us on Twitter @InvictusRL for the main. If you want the Xbox specific side of things, it is @InvictusRL_Xbox. And if you want to get involved in the racing, out the website invictusracingleague.com. But until next time, from myself, Kieran Wright 92 and Andrew Gatton, thank you for watching and good night.